Welcome to Din's Talk, the space where soul wisdom meets bold action. I'm Mia Dins, your host, here to ignite your fire, help you claim your power, and guide you to take unstoppable steps towards your dream. Every episode is designed to awaken your purpose, fuel your passion, and spark transformation in your life. It's time to step into your truth and never stop. Let's dive in.
Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another episode on Din's Talk. Let's talk soul. And today I have a very special guest, Vinaya. He calls himself tourist on planet Earth. I love that. He has definitely a very high frequency, something different. It calls you deep into clarity, carries a lot of ancient wisdom, and he lives his life in complete devotion to truth. Vinaya is very down to earth, a well-seasoned mystic who has spent more than 40 years guiding people around the world with intuitive gifts. He is a crystal healer, Reiki practitioner, psychic reader, and a trusted spiritual advisor whose work supports humanity's evolution. In his readings, Vinaya uses crystals and tarot to receive information from his clients' higher selves, empowering them to make aligned, soul-led choices in their relationships, purpose, and life direction. But his past didn't begin in ceremony. It began with a deep knowing that he simply could not conform to the lifestyle society expected of him. At just 22 years old, carrying a few $100s, unshakable thirst for meaning, he followed a childhood vision and set out for an overland journey from Germany to the Himalayas. What was meant to be an adventure became a 7-year pilgrimage in the flow, searching for answers across Europe and Asia. That search eventually led him to Osho in India, a transmission that turned his gaze inward and changed the trajectory of his life. Vinaya spent the next decade in Pune, immersed in personal development work, meditation, and the inner alchemy that shaped the wisdom he carries today. It was during this time that his connection to tarot and the mineral kingdom deepened, allowing him to cultivate his unique ability to see behind the veil and translate energy into insight. Today, Vinaya serves as a karmic awareness catalyst and spiritual advisor, helping people understand their evolutionary path, their gifts and challenges, and the energetic timelines available to them. His humor, presence, and philosophy of living life as a celebration have supported countless souls in finding clarity and direction. He currently lives or transitioned through Mexico, and in 2010, he and his partner, Piazza, were initiated as fourth-level Andean healers by the Quero people of Peru. I'm so excited and honored to have him here with us today. So please welcome, Vinaya. Welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Wow.
Yeah, it's quite like you were looking so surprised, like I'm talking about a stranger. But you know what? I do that because we forget all the things we have done, especially like someone like you, because you're constantly in this process of letting go, evolving, right? So we kind of, we don't look back. It's like it's something you did. And of course you carry that within you, but I'm sure you're not sitting every night and reading your biography. So
Definitely not.
yeah.
Yeah. Wisdom is an amazing journey. When I booked a holiday to planet Earth,
Yeah.
come to check out the locals, and actually, it's really true because if I would be a tourist to Japan, I will receive some different ways of seeing things through the Japanese eyes by just seeing these people and experiencing them. And they can also perceive that there is something else besides the Japanese box. And so we are to each other like an example of how life can be. And that's basically what I'm here for.
Absolutely love that. And like I said in the introduction, it feels like I can feel it, right? Because I'm obviously also an energy worker and very sensitive to energy. But when I'm talking to you, and we talked offline already before, I feel instantly pulled into this frequency, like calm. I was calm before, but it's like a different frequency and it's just beautiful. I feel like it's hard to put into words. It's just like peaceful, and I can feel like the embodiment. You can feel you have done a lot of work, have a lot of experience. You're very open-minded. So, well, interesting. Your story reminded me, like, with the Himalayas, when I was 16 or 15, like we had this extracurricular like thing in Germany in school, and there was a traveler coming. He was maybe in his 60s, can't remember, and he brought his crystals, and Himalayan like salt lamp, and was sitting there cross-legged like a hippie on stage, and was talking in front of hundreds of students. And I was sitting there, and I was like, there was my higher self, my intuition was talking. I was like, oh, he's a weirdo, but I love it. And I think I want to do that one day. And I was asking myself, can I do that one day? And then my mind came in, no, Mia, you have the plan, the German structure, like follow this, and you go to university and do that. So it's interesting. And we basically left in similar ages at Germany, right? I left when I was 25, you left when you were 22. So how was it dreaming? I mean, it's not an unusual dream to have as a 22-year-old to go to the Himalayas. How did what was the initiation for you? And then to embark on that journey with a few $100s.
Yeah, that was quite a jump. I didn't really have any specific dreams like I want to become a policeman or a fireman or a salesman or what. I was just trying to really fit. And I had a time just before I left where I changed job every 3 months because like once I learned the story, what I had to do, it got boring. And I could never imagine to be all my life in the same job. And I had no dream for a job, but I had an understanding that there must be more to life than meets the eye. There must be more than just being born and grow up and work and get children and work and die. That doesn't make any sense, or didn't make any sense to me. So also when I was younger, I don't remember when, I saw a picture of the Himalayas and I somewhat knew I have to go there. But that was years before I suddenly realized, okay, I'm not a German, I don't fit, and I need to find what is the meaning of life, basically. And then the Himalayas came back into my mind, and then something happened which was really life-changing. I went to my parents and I go like, I'm going to the Himalayas. Yeah, overland. My mother goes, you can't do that. Why not? Because you need to work. You need to save money. You need to have security for when you are old. Perfect argument, right? The mind is really good, but my heart was stronger. And I go like, well, I figure out what I'm doing when I'm old. Right now, I'm off to India, and being able to really follow one's heart, one's intuition, one's gut feeling, one's deep inner knowledge. It takes a little bit of courage, and it takes not listen to the mind, because I've never been there in this life, at least. And so how would I know how it is? But my mind had some arguments. Don't listen to your mind. Listen to your heart. And for the last 50 years, that's what I've been doing. No goal, no idea what I'm going to do in the next 2 months or 3 months, or where I'm going to be or what. I'm waiting for the knowing. And in the meantime, I'm here. And my life had adventures you wouldn't believe it. Like, if I would ever write a biography, I don't even know if I can write that in one book. It's like, wow. And following the heart was always the right thing. And I know this for sure because a few times I didn't follow my intuition or this knowing. Like there was an incident where I knew instantly, don't do that. Well, there's no problem, da. Okay. Boom, I broke my arm. Or something else not really beneficial happened. So I really learned to follow my heart and be here now, which is many, many wise men, so to speak, or enlightened masters. That's all what they say. Be here. There's no other time. And that gives enormous amount of freedom as well, because what's to worry right now? Unless I'm in a burning house, mind you, but then there's no, just, get out. But that's being in the moment. But right now, there's nothing wrong. Everything is absolutely 100% perfect. So why worry? Why have anxiety what might happen tomorrow, which usually never does? So, yeah, being here now gives one.
Yeah, it's very powerful. I love that because it's my core message, right? The radical self-trust, intuition, and constantly tell people. But the only way to really find out is by doing it, and you have to study yourself. You have to really learn to study yourself and trust yourself. Nobody can give that to you, and the most beautiful thing is nobody can ever take it away from you because it's an innate wisdom. It depends where you are at, where your consciousness is at. You get different signs through your body. For me, like at least, when these days it's really strong. Obviously, if I have ignored the subtle whispers of my soul before, and then my body will be like, it will stop me. It will completely stop me, and I cannot do it. I have done so much work and I've shifted myself in such a frequency that my soul will not allow me to go into some density and low frequency anymore. And when I have moved through the cycles, right, when I'm done with that work, I've learned my lesson. And like you, can you maybe tell, because obviously you had the courage and you continue to have the courage every day to do that, to trust that, right? Because it's easy to get pulled back into it, into the noise, into the distraction when people are around. But once you have a good foundation, when you set this example or a few moments in life where you didn't trust, how was it showing up for you? Was it a voice that said no? Was it like a feeling in your body? And how did it work?
Various time I was supposed to have put my key on my belt. I put it on my back and I knew instantly. It was just a knowing. Don't do that. But in that instance, my mind says, well, what's the problem? You always take care of your bag. Okay, cool. The bag was full with shopping. I gave it to a friend who went with a taxi home. My bike key was there. Another incident, I wanted to go to town with my motorbike and a tree was across the street. And I asked the workers, oh, it takes 3-4 hours. Okay, I'm not going today. Next day, there was another tree on the street. Like hell. And then I was stubborn. So that was like a sign from existence. Not today. And I took the back road and had an accident and broke my arm. It's varies. For me, it's basically just a knowing. Other people have feelings or see something or like you in the body. And maybe it also depends on the situation. It varies. We just want to learn to listen to that very, very, very first voice. It's so fast. There, boom. And then the mind, a split second later, goes,
It's like so loud. It's the loudest voice, the biggest voice, Yeah.
and there's a trick to tell people to practice that. It's like, comes to my mind, I want a coffee. So instead of just going and doing it, I close my eyes. I become conscious of my breath, like how it goes in and out. I'm not concentrating. I'm just conscious of it, which is slightly different, at least in my book. And then I go hard. I am drinking a coffee right now. How does that feel? I know it's either a so-called positive feeling or a so-called negative feeling, but I know. Oh, hard. I am in the disco right now because I thought friends invited me in, and I'm not 100% sure. So I breathe. Now it's my heart. Or I tell my heart, I am in the disco. Not I'm going, but I am there already. I'm already doing it. I'm already in Spain. It's already happening. How does it feel? And then we just have to have the courage to feel that, not
Yeah.
listen to mine.
I do the same practices, especially with food. And sometimes even hold it on my body, like the apple. Is that what you really need right now? And then I tune in. And if it's like this butterflies, that's my sign. I'm like, oh yes, excitement. My body needs it. And then there could be the opposite. But I'm so tuned in these days that I will not usually wouldn't make a wrong food choice anymore because I've practiced it for so long. I think a lot of things have to be there in chaos that this would happen. But for me, I guess my challenge is because I'm also so physical, and I don't know if I told you, but I have been an athlete since I'm 3 years old. So I got conditioned to constantly override my body and push. So that's why my body response is so strong. It has to be, because it brings me back into like, hello, I'm here. It has to be that way. Of course, it is annoying sometimes, or was annoying, but that's when I know I'm not dropped in. I'm not feeling, and I'm not allowing, I'm not giving it space to express itself, because of course it's learning from such a long time. It takes some time. There's some layers to shed, So when I have this, for example, because I move every day, workout, and when I had maybe something planned, oh, I'm going to do like, let's say, a leg workout of heavy weights because I want to, it feels good to me. But then I wake up and my body tells me, not today. And then my mind can still be like, but maybe. Then I do exactly the same. I visualize a different lighter version of a workout, maybe by the beach or something different and more gentle. And then I visualize that and the gym session. And if I'm excited about the light of it, I'm going with that one. But yeah, it's still like the mind can still be like stubborn, maybe, but it's funny, right? Have some fun with it too. Like discover
Yeah.
yourself, and yeah, just don't be so serious. And I think it's also good to go the other way. Like you said, when your mind was strong and the tree, the second day was in the way, and then you took the back road and then you broke your arm. I mean, to do that, so you can reflect back, be like, okay, that was the sign, and my mind was still stubborn and strong. It's not about being perfect, right? It's about practice.
We're
Yeah.
humans. And
Yeah.
there was this funny saying, like, I made so many mistakes and learned so much. I think I make some more.
Yeah.
I'm going to make some
Yeah.
more. It's like there are no real mistakes. They're just lessons. And as soon as we become more and more aware of what's actually really going on right now, with constant remembrance, slowly but surely one stays pretty much in that space. And that's a wonderful place to be, because then nothing is wrong. And if I made that mistake with the tree and went the back road, well, it wasn't a mistake. It was just, again, listen.
I know. And then when you start seeing that as like, everything, it's, I think I said it yesterday, or I wrote it in my diary for myself, like getting to know myself and exploring becomes like a treasure hunt. Life becomes like a treasure hunt. You're like, oh, there's something. And then you tip into a hole and then you fall and then you get muddy or whatever, like it's fun. I think it's fun. And even the challenges, and to embrace it, like in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an adventure. It's not serious. Again, we can take things sincere, but not serious, because life is not serious. If I look at myself, I have to laugh for days. All the stuff I did or not. It's just funny. It's hilarious. We just take it serious. And what comes now is basically also maybe indicating that the seriousness also has or comes from one understanding that I'm not correct. I'm not right. I have to grow up. I have to become enlightened. I have to become success, whatever. Yeah. I'm not right. But when I really look at it, nothing, absolutely nothing in existence is not perfect. Obviously, I am perfect. Obviously, you're perfect. We have a role, we have a place, we have a meaning. And if my mother doesn't like it and says I'm not perfect, well, that's her idea. But God's idea, or idea of existence, or all that is, or whatever you want to name it, I have even no clue myself. That's the higher authority, because I am here exactly the way existence creates everything. Perfect. And also, I am an individual. I am not a part of a herd. I'm not part of a box. We also maybe want to understand that we all are different. And accepting that, stepping into that. Okay, I'm not like this, but I'm like that. And that's who I am. And accepting that. Suddenly, I can accept everybody. They're just themselves. I might not vibe with it, but that's a different story. But they're them. Fine. They don't want to do it. Great. They do it. Great. Whatever. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing it my way. Another part of being free and really stepping into one's power and being the one who we envisioned us before we came out to be. And I tell you, life is fucking fantastic.
I love that we're so alike in the way, like you have this, that you speak like very enlightened and fuck, because I know it's beautiful because it's how energy is expressed. There is no right or wrong, like I sometimes there are people out there, spiritual people who who think swearing is very bad and all. I'm just like, just be and feel whatever comes through. And I'm the same, like, especially when I want to express something and when something really is strong, I need to say fuck because it's an expression. It's not it's just how it is. Beautiful. And now I wanted to ask because obviously, we have people listening here and they say, oh yeah, I mean, Mia Vinaya, it's all nice. And, you talk here and very like this calmness, but let's say they have families, they have trauma, they're in jobs they don't like. So how can someone who's like full of shit, basically full of noise, how can they start to learn to tune in? Because I get that constantly asked and yeah, I mean, not like obviously you had this courage to go there. So what do you tell people? And I'm sure you have many people seeking that answer from you when they meet you.
Well, I would say the first step is to realize that there is something missing. This is not really, doesn't feel right, doesn't make sense. Am I really that? So once I ask myself that question, then I can start looking. And the focus obviously is inside. And now there are gazillions of ways to get to that point that we are more aware about ourselves. And that really depends on the individual. Where am I in my life right now? Do I first need to release trauma or what? Yeah, trauma is a big thing, which stops us really from going inside and stepping out of the box because we are in a freeze mode. So, yeah, that's where I am helpful because I can see where you're at and what would be the next step to free from the program, which is basically what we need to do. Because we came here, we forgot. Don't ask me why. So like, what?
We don't need to know, no? Too much information.
Yes, so I don't know, but we know. But then mother and father and society and religion, they all tell us different. They all put us in a box. We have to behave this way or that way and what. And these programmings are stopping us from stepping into or finding out who we really are. Because by and by we think, oh, I'm a German. Well, you're actually not a German. You're in the box of Germany. You're an individual on a specific path with a specific reason why you're here. Even if it's just to enjoy life. There are so many, many reasons. So becoming clear or having an insight into what are my gifts? Why am I really here? How do I get there? I see very often in readings, like something is said and suddenly they light up and go like, yeah, I remember. Wow. So often it is needed to have an outside reflection of what is really going on to be to remember, or to know what is my next step. Getting clear. And yeah, and me just being the weird Vinaya, the tourist who does everything totally different and the way he wants, not the way you want, and has a great life, feeling that energy maybe it's nice to have a taste that life can be absolutely, positively, amazingly different. We just need to learn to become more aware of our programming and then deciding, well, is that really me? How would I actually like to respond? If there's a situation. As a man, for example, you're not allowed to cry when something hurts you. But actually, I want to cry, but I can't because I'm a man. So again, being then in the moment and feeling, knowing what is right for me in this moment, what my intuition, my heart tells me, and then having the courage to cry. Doesn't mean I'm not a man, just means I'm sad. That's me. And if I don't put a judgment on me, I don't actually care a bit what anybody thinks about me because it's just their way of looking at things. And I have nothing to do with that. I have a beautiful example for that. I was giving a meditation call afternoon and I was like, okay, 10 years actually in India. And I really like to speak like this, Baba. Oh my God, I hear it. Oh, there was an Indian in there. And he was furiously mad. I'm a racist. I'm laughing at him. I'm putting him down. I had nothing to do with that. It was his perspective. And if I'm aware and just being myself, I'm not out to hurt anybody. So I'm just being myself. And that's not hurtful. I haven't found that out yet. But it's the perspective of the other person where I have nothing to do with that. So really getting free of all these ideas and just being oneself, using one's heart or intuition or gut feeling or, yeah, to navigate this life. Yeah, I don't know. I lived in Ecuador and it was like, okay, I knew Ecuador is done. No clue whatsoever where to go. It's like, I had no idea. So, okay, I know it's done. I know I'm leaving, but right now I don't know where to. So I'm just relaxed and have a great time. And suddenly a sign came. Come to this festival in Costa Rica. Oh, okay. I'll come to Mexico to this conference. Oh, okay. So then the signs come and then you follow them. And yeah, I guess I repeated myself a few times.
No, 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 no. It's beautiful. And I relate to that so much because that's exactly how I'm living right now, right? With the places I told you that. And although I have always had this innate within me, like doing things very intuitively, very much against the grain, but it was still very suppressed. It was just like slowly coming out of the box, the more I untangled things. And even now, you're so right. The moment my mind okay, I'm in Vietnam now. I know my visa is ending on the 3rd of January. I planned to go to visit my friends in Australia. I will eventually. I don't know if it's going to be right after or not. I don't put the pressure on me, and they know that. I said, if I wake up and I'm booking a flight, I do it, but I can't give you an exact date right now because I don't know, because maybe I'm called to something else, and I just relax because I feel the pressure on me when I try to manage it with the mind. And that's a different, and some people may call it, but you're flaky or that's unreliable. So no, because I'm on this deep, deep journey with myself and I really trust the guidance. And if I don't do it, I'm deviating from my highest timeline, from my highest purpose that I came here to do. And I chose that. I choose that every single day. And that may not look like how Mia wants it, but that's I have the courage to go because there's so much more magic happening. And it's interesting because I'm gonna tell you right now, because I think it was 2 days ago, or was it even yesterday? I can't remember. And I didn't read your story back then because I do that usually the night before or in the morning. That's how I tune into the energy. And I didn't know about the Himalaya. I knew you were traveling, but I didn't know the Himalayas. So that's why I had to smile, because I was in meditation and I was just like, asking myself, where do you want to travel to? Because I start to feel now, I start to feel like, Vietnam, okay, there's slowly, I start to get ready for something internally, you know? And all of a sudden it told me you're going to the Tibet, Himalayas, like this, like what? I'm like, I'm going where? I'm like, no, 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 no. you know, I was having this conversation. I was like, let's calm down here. And it's interesting because then I read your story and I was like, hmm. And then I got the memory back from this guy who came to our school, right? When I was 15, around that age, 15 or 14. And I was like, interesting. It may be now, or it may be like something in the future. I mean, I definitely want to go one day there, I know, but so I'm just relaxing. See, the mind was trying to manage. Then the mind was going like, I was quickly looking up Tibet, da da da. How do I get, and I was like, the moment pressure started to come up, I was like, just relax, let it go. Now you put it out there, just relax. All good, like nothing to worry about at all. But it's beautiful to see. And I'm just sharing that so people can hear this is how the process works. It's not always like you get this drop and like, oh, I'm going. Yeah, sometimes it does. But firstly, sometimes it's about I learned from me personally, anyways, that I let it sit. I let it marinate. And for me, actually, a 24-hour window when I have to make an important decision is really important. Yeah. If I have time. Obviously, if I'm hanging off the cliffs, I don't have 24 hours to decide if I let go or try to climb up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And you said something, oh, you let it sit. Yeah. For me, it's also like, yeah, okay. I know, like, this is Ecuador story. I know I'm leaving. So that's the intention. But then I'm not there. I'm still here and enjoy the time and the journey. Yeah. Okay. My focus was there and now I come back here, but I know the energy is going out and then it will happen. And sometimes, yes, I make plans, like, okay, I think I need to. And I'm also laughing because God is laughing. He made a plan again. I'm definitely always open to change that even in the last minutes. And if people think I'm flaky, cool. I don't care. That's your problem, not mine. I'm not flaky. It's my, yeah, we're pretty much in the
it's,
same boat. It's fun. It's fun. No, it's really a great life.
yeah, it is. And also even encountering those moments when other people think I'm flaky or unreliable or wishy-washy or whatever they call it. It used to trigger me a lot. And that was cool because it was just bringing out the programming that I still carried so deeply within me and that was running. And that's beautiful. So I'm like, thank you. I can see, fuck, there's so much more shit to clear out. That's not serving me anymore. And that is a process, right? That doesn't happen overnight. The realization, awareness happens in a moment, but the clearing may take a bit of time. It depends, right? So that's the beauty of it. And I start to see that now. So it doesn't trigger me anymore in that way. I'm like, okay, cool. Then I'm not your person because that's how I roll. Chose that path. There weren't many out there doing it. Like, I mean, like now it's getting more and more because we're advancing and people, the consciousness is rising, which is beautiful. I'm grateful. But even with all that, I still have, it still can be like, I'm not lonely because I'm like, I'm just so like curious about myself and studying. I don't even feel bored or anything. I'm just so constantly want to learn and, but of course there are moments like where I'm like, like you can feel a little bit like it's very nichey, right? How did you navigate through that? I mean, like when you had this time, you probably were like completely alienated.
I don't really ever had a problem with it because somewhat I always felt I don't fit pretty much nowhere. And which has a beautiful side effect because I can be anywhere and have no problems because I know I'm not part of the story. So I'm the tourist. Yeah, I'm checking the things out. And yes, it is somewhat of you lose a lot of people you think are your friends because they suddenly don't accept you anymore because you're wishy-washy or you're arrogant or whatever they think you are, or you're like a spiritual nutcase or whatever. Yeah, that happens a lot. So many people might actually fall off by the wayside, but for me, there weren't people I could connect with anyway. So fine. And by, You find people who are at your frequency, at your vibration, who actually know where you're at because they're at the same place. They're looking and they're working on themselves. There are not that many. In the end, it doesn't matter to me at all because I'm absolutely 100% positively happy on my own. I love to be with people, but I don't need them because I'm enough onto myself. I definitely enjoy them. I definitely enjoy connecting with them. I definitely bloom when I can give insight and help. Do I need it? Not really. Because, yeah, you hear what I'm saying, no?
Absolutely. There's
And
a saying on my wall. It's like, it says like, I want everything, but I need nothing.
I wouldn't have enough
Yeah.
space for everything, but yeah.
Nothing, yeah. Just to remind, it is true though. I can totally agree. I'm so happy on my own. Sometimes I got even scared. Oh my gosh, do I ever need people? I mean, like needing the words, right? But I'm so content on my own that yeah, it's just like I got sometimes like, "Oh, okay," but yeah, it's beautiful. I think that that's why people feel even more drawn to you because you're so content. You're so full being
In
in
myself.
this.
Yes. Yes. This is one thing about wanting to help, wanting to be of service. Like kids are more important than me or my mother or what. If I'm empty, what on earth can I give? If I don't love myself, how can I love somebody else? It doesn't work. So I really, really, really want to put me first and accept myself, my needs, my way of doing. It really comes very much back to that because then when you're suddenly full, hey, you want some? I have so much. I don't know where to put it anymore. You know what I mean? It's like then it just comes out of you and you're not losing yourself. And that is so beneficial for people because there is no hook to it. I give you something because I want something in return. I need you to love me because I need love. But no, I don't need you to love me. If you do, wow, hooray. I enjoy it. Do I need it? No, there's a big difference.
It's powerful. And now that leads me to that question because you have your partner Piazza and you work together. Are you together since what, 20 years? Is that correct? Or that's when you
20
met? Or
23 years.
and you remember plus point for you, Piazza, write that down. He's a good one. He's a keeper. I'm just joking because most men would be just like, I don't know.
Let me say something. It's really funny because about 5 years ago or somewhat, we were in Costa Rica and suddenly it hit me. We are together alone or alone together. We both don't need each other. We extremely enjoy each other, work absolutely perfectly together in retreats with each other, but we don't need each other. And that suddenly makes a relationship way more healthy and yeah, just, you know, and if we would split in a month or in a year or 5, doesn't matter. Both full, we both enough unto ourselves. That gives us freedom to actually be together. Just wanted to throw that in.
No, I absolutely love that. And that's such a beautiful message. That's my intention. I want this kind of relationship, like very conscious, co-creation. It takes work from both sides, like the choice, right? The conscious choice every day to do that. I have friends, 2 couples that I know who choose a conscious relationship and it's beautiful. Easy all the time, like at first, because they 2 individuals come together and then you need to find your way, your frequencies and go through the seasons and the cycles. And it's like the relationship you have with yourself. You go through your cycles too, and you learn to love yourself, right? Through all the cycles. And to go to the deepest parts. And I believe the deeper you get to know yourself and the deeper you love yourself. And in that way, that's a reflection in your relationship. But can you maybe like obviously when you met and I read a little bit about Piazza's story, and I remember that you said you had a pretty good childhood. You weren't like growing up in massive trauma as such, and she comes from the total opposite from what I've read. And it's actually also very interesting how you guys found, and obviously you both were on an individual healing journey and going deep into the inner work, and then you came together. And what can you remember, like challenges you faced at first, like, and how you overcame them? That's probably interesting to know.
It's not often, but sometimes a challenge that I'm still in my reactive mode when she is lovingly trying to tell me how to take care of myself and stuff. And, don't tell me what to do. And then a little bit into a non-conforming vibration. Well, when we really have challenges and we're really angry at each other, and it happens automatically somewhat. And I don't know whoever came up with that, but we then suddenly, standing in front of each other and starting to, what's it called? Like put swear words onto the other. You bitch, you asshole, you da 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 da. I tell you, after 3, 4, 5, not 5 even, 3, 4 swear words I put on her or she on me, we both laugh our ass off. And the energy of the tension is totally gone. That's our little trick. And, sometimes it takes a little while and then working on ourselves. And we work a lot with plant medicine. Vyasa is holding retreats with 5-MeO, and I assist her in there. That is also work on ourselves, even though we work with others. So there's many ways we work the challenges out. It really depends. But the basic one is I have to be aware that I acted like an asshole. So then I have to do the steps which are needed, whatever, to get out of it and be normal me again.
And again, isn't that human in a relationship as well, to be triggered, to see your reactive side? And it's all about awareness. And sometimes you move through things like that, like within your little trick there, like within 3 minutes. And sometimes you may take an hour or two because you need to move, you need to go deeper, something is shown to you, whatever. And it really takes this conscious awareness, right? But then also this is it's fun for me when you talk about your relationship, and from the energy that I feel when I read about it, and your co-creation and co-working together and all that, it makes me excited. It makes me feel like, yeah, wow, beautiful, right? And now, sorry, Germans, but if I look at a German culture, stereotypical marriage, house, plant a tree, have the kids, and it's stale and stagnant. You have your holiday once a year, and that's it. And it's so boring. It just freaks me out. The thing, like, and that's a cool thing, you guys met and you both are travelers, tourists of the world, and you like to be at different places. I need that person too. Like, even he could be the most amazing person, but if he likes to be in one country and he wants to be surrounded, around his family, it wouldn't work. It would just not work. It may be like a little dating time we have, when we are meeting, but he wouldn't be my life partner. Yeah, the partner I want to build with. And it's awareness to have that, to know, okay, that's cool.
And it's funny because I never thought that I am made to have somebody for longer than a year or 5. The longest relationship before was 5 years actually, but normally it was like 1 month, 5 months, very short. And it was kind of like, there's nobody crazy enough to be together with me. And totally relaxed into it. And then suddenly another weirdo appeared and we vibe together. And I'm basically amazed every day that this worked out like this. Yeah, it's just fun story and a beautiful journey together. And again, like I said, if it's done tomorrow, wow, thank you for the time. And I move on. There's nothing wrong because we are both full individuals, independent.
Powerful. And now when you work individually with people, I'm sure a lot of people come and ask about, can you see a future soulmate or partner? Do you have that often coming up for people? Is that like, I only experience with readings, usually people come to me and ask
No,
about this.
no, it would be more like somebody asks a question, basically, if is there a life partner for me? I don't tell the future. I have no clue. Nobody knows. Really depends what you do in 10 seconds, like me going the back road. Yeah, we can't really foretell the future unless I'm in a box and do the 8 to 5 and do the same thing for the last 20 years. Then I can tell you what you do the next 20 years. But these people don't really come to me. So when a question comes about a partner, basically what we are looking at is what can you do to invite the partner who is really right for you, the one you envision. And that's usually something, an awareness exercise for myself. Like, and that really depends. Sometimes you have to see that you are full first. Nourish yourself first. Be full because that's what you want. So it's like the readings are not about the future, they're about the here and now. What can I do to create a life the way I want to have it? How can I empower myself? And like sometimes there's questions about jobs. I have this job or that job. Can you tell me if this job is beneficial, is giving me money, or that one is getting me money? I cannot tell you that. What I can tell you is what are the energetics of this job? What do you learn with this job? What is it for you? Not if you make money or not. Very rarely there's a yes or no answer. Very, very rarely, but it happens. And I tell you what this job is about. And then you can make a decision which one is correct for you or not, or partner, or what have you. Yeah. Or how can is my relationship going to be good for the next 50 years? I cannot tell you. I can only tell you what you can do in yourself to do the best you can for the relationship to flourish. If it in the end it actually does, it depends what you do. I cannot tell you that. So it's not about future. It's about here, now. What can I do to create what I want to create?
I love that approach because I do the same, right? I have the same approach. It's like reading the energies, and it's basically in the energetic field. And also, I love how beautifully you said that, because it's true. I always say, look, there are multiple infinite timelines, and depending on the choices you make, you alter that. Like I may see something, yeah, that is a great potential for you, this person, this job, whatever, but da 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 da. And it's totally up to you. And it always actually comes down to what, like you said, reflect back to yourself. What do you need to shift within yourself? What do you need to let go? What's the learning here? But like expand the container rather than asking for small questions, small containers, like ask for what wants to emerge through you right now. What is your soul calling you to do? I think that I think I learned that for myself too. I used to, when I was, years ago, asking small questions like, how can I attract more clients? No, how can I serve more? But it's an awareness that changes, right? And it's good to go through these stages. And so yeah, it's very powerful, because what people do, I always say, like when you come when they come to you or come to me or anybody else, readers, seers, healers, don't give your power away. Like always seek yourself, your own advice first, and then just come for more like guidance or maybe a little bit of validation. It's good when we have that, right? We all need that at some point. Our egos, it's good because we're humans. And it's also good to not know. Sometimes, and sometimes when they ask something and I get the answer given, but I'm not supposed to tell them. And and I tell them that because it if they would know, it would take away the experience from this present moment, right? It's like if you would tell me, Mia, you meet your soulmate next week. Yeah, well, that would totally, very natural, even though I'm very content with myself, it would take away all the experiences I meant to have within the next 7 days, because I would be, right? I would be completely focused. I'm going to meet him. I'm going to meet him. And I would be so in anxiety because I would, and then all these things, how do I look? Oh my gosh, no, I don't, of course, this typical human ego stuff comes up. And I'm just saying that as an example right now. And that took me a while. And I'm still learning this, because sometimes the mind can take over and be like, when is that going to happen? And then I'm like, come back, come back, come back, come back into the present moment. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I
Often
love your,
say to people like, don't listen to me. Try it out.
yeah, true. Yeah.
Because if I don't embody it, if I don't practice what's been said or pay attention and awareness to it, nothing's going to happen. Oh, he said I'm a healer. Oh, I'm a healer. Okay. What are you healing? Yeah, I have to do it. I have to find out, is it correct? And basically, the moment we hear it, we actually do know deep down, which is not listening. But that's also something I love to play around with people so that they can more listen, can be more attentive. Because we all know it. We just forgot and it's been buried. And sometimes, or very often actually, it's just a verification, which is amazing because then oh, I guess I'm not crazy because this guy doesn't know me and he tells me what I actually know. But I think I'm crazy, or it's my ego, or whatever excuse there is not to actually do that. And if you get a verification from the outside, it's like, fuck, yeah, huh, yeah, I love it.
And that's beautiful. And I moved away from, like at the beginning I was doing just readings, like people would just come for that, but I moved to the approach of I create space for you to see for yourself, like to remember I'm not here, because that's to encourage them to do the work, because that's the only way we can change. Because what do? You get this reading, like you said, you have the information, you saw someone as a healer, and then what? You sit with it on the couch, roll your thumbs and wait for it to drop from heaven. No, you still have to discover, and you still have to make the choices to embody that, to get there, whatever, or maybe see, okay, that's a potential timeline, but no, I'm not choosing this timeline or this lifetime. I mean, so it's an interesting, beautiful journey, but it takes a lot of practice, right? And you have done so much in your life to get to that stage and to have this calmness about you, and this knowing, and to be like, okay, that's okay, whatever happens is meant to happen and is okay.
Which is dangerous. That can be a spiritual bypassing.
Yes. Yeah.
So we have to be aware, like, oh, it's all good. Well, maybe not because we're supposed to do something.
Because I'm just aware of time, before we finish off, can you actually go into that? Because I know that a lot of people have this spiritual bypassing, that
Mhm.
the different, you, from your experience, I would love for you to share that.
Yeah, it's like we take things on which are not embodied. And so I can say, yeah, all is good and it wasn't supposed to be and all of that. But actually, it's not happening because I wasn't aware and I wasn't conscious and I wasn't doing something to make it happen. I wasn't aware. Oh, I'm so peaceful. All this peace. I love everybody. I had this beautiful experience. We gave this meditation, which in the first place, the first part, it's called the Aum meditation. You're standing in front of each other and you go, I hate you. I fucking hate you. So you do this for a few minutes. Okay. The second part I have to say is like, then you go around and I love you, really feeling it. And you're supposed to feel the hate. And I had this guy who was so peaceful standing in front of me and he was like, whatever. He was not doing it because he was so peaceful. He cannot hate me. I saw that it was a bullshit story. It was in his mind. He has to be peaceful. I looked at him and oh, you wimp. The guy exploded. It was like exactly the right button to push. He wasn't peaceful, but in his mind, we have to be peaceful and everything is and all. But no, deep inside, I feel actually hate and I don't like that person, but I'm supposed to love it. So we put that screen in front of our mind, our being, which I would call spiritual bypassing. And nobody is perfect in that sense, always peaceful, never angry.
Yeah.
I don't love everybody. I actually do deep down. I can't necessarily connect with everybody, but yes, I take care of little insects and people if I can, or if it feels like it. It doesn't mean I have to be with them, but I can still feel this love. So that's more like of an embodied thing than in my mind. I love everybody. I'm an asshole, but I love you. Yeah. So it's a screen in front of our mind being told how to be in the 5D. That rhymes. So that's what I think about spiritual bypassing. And we just have to be careful because the mind is very strong and tells us, yeah, no, you're peaceful. So I put my away.
Yeah.
And that's
Or like
being me.
toxic. Yeah. Yeah. No, toxic positivity. That's also bypassing, like, and I think I have been on that train, like in the very early stages, like for a short while with the affirmations, the make it until fake it until you make it kind of thing. And then I realized, but it doesn't feel right. There's something that needs to come out first. It's like, it works, but only if you feel all of it, not just suppressing it, like it's almost like a pressure cooker and then it comes out. And it wasn't for long, but I felt that doesn't feel right. It does not feel authentic. So, but some people really, they keep doing these things and then they think this is how it's be. So yeah.
With anger, for example, there's one thing like, yeah, it's not like if you trigger something in me which makes me angry, you don't make me angry. I am angry because something happens which triggers something in me. I don't need to punch you, but I need to express it. And I need to not tell you, and it's actually not good to punch you or tell you that blah, blah, blah. No, but you want to scream. You want to run around the block. You want to release that energy so it doesn't hurt you. Yeah, the anger is there, but it's not, it's like this is Indian guy. I didn't do this. He was angry. Yeah, letting it out is a good idea, but not putting it on somebody else. Luckily, I'm not taking it. I was just laughing. I told him, wow, I didn't know I have so much power over you. Wow.
You probably exploded.
Yeah, but, wow, I can make you so angry. Damn. But yeah, expressing our emotions is a very important part in life and not putting it on other people. Anger, jealousy, all these so-called negative feelings. Yeah, and even the positive one. No, you don't make me happy. I am happy.
Yeah, it's powerful. When if like, just before, like, I have two more things. Firstly, where can people find you and work with you? And what do you do? That's my first thing. And the second one I do after to finish off this beautiful transmission.
Thank you. They can find me on my website, psychic crystal readings with an s.com, psychic.crystal.readings, Instagram, psychic.crystal.readings. And we can also maybe post the links. I have a YouTube channel, Karmic Awareness Catalyst. Yeah. But the easiest way is go on my website, psychiccrystalreadings.com. You read all about my story and what I do and how you can connect with me. And yeah,
Yeah, I will definitely leave the links below in the description box so people can connect. So definitely. And I just noted that as well. And the second thing is, do you have intuitively, of course, a message that come through that how you want to finish off for people, like something that you want to just express, that wants to be expressed through you right now?
No, I think everything's been said. Be perfect the way you are, the way God created you. Be in the moment. Become more and more aware about the programming. Don't take life too serious. It's not.
Yeah.
It's a
Well
funny,
said.
and it's an adventure. And it's my choice how I take it. I can be really miserable because I broke my arm because I wasn't listening to my intuition. Or I can just go, oops, I have a broken arm. Now I deal with that, no worries. But now I know when it just gives me a sign, better listen. I learn something. And just be yourself. You're unique. Nothing, the smallest ant. You put two ants together, you find differences. It's like nothing is the same. Nothing is a copy of something else. So be the unique self. That would be the last thing.
Thank you. That was so powerful. I'm so honored that you have been here and shared your beautiful energy and presence with us. And thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. And please comment below if you had any revelations, takeaways, or anything that didn't resonate with you. Totally cool. We are happy to hear anything from you. And yeah, thank you so much, Vinaya. I loved this connection. And guys, see you next time. Mwah.
Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in to Din's Talk. I hope today's conversation sparked something within you. Remember, you have the power to align with your soul, take bold action, and live a life fueled by passion. Don't forget to subscribe, share with others, and leave a comment if this episode resonated with you. And as always, do it, never stop. Until next time, keep claiming your fire and your power.